to professionals and head to confessional. And once I'm in the booth, I feel real congressional. Welcome to the episode. Please like and subscribe. Don't drink and drive when you can smoke and fly. Soaring so high into the night sky, reaching for the stars, but they landed on a moon pie.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Awkward Intelligence. I'm Intox along with
BDot, baby.
episode 35. Doing it live. Here we are.
35. Still moving, baby. We jumping.
August, man. It's August, like we talked about last week. We made it to our second week of August already.
And time is flying.
Yeah. We talked about that, remember? Timelines and all kinds of stuff, but also that time is moving faster just in general.
And time wait for no one. So if you ain't doing shit, it ain't gonna wait for you. You gotta do something, get on the ball.
Right. And when we're saying that timelines and things are moving faster, it's like, look at the world, right? Mm-hmm. Look at how everything's happening. Look at, like, you look at like the Titanic situation. That's reliving that, you're looking at, all these different things that are happening with disclosure. Those are things that should have been disclosed over the years throughout time. Mm-hmm. They just were hiding everything from us. So we're starting to see it now, You've got places like Russia. They just forgave $23 billion to the Africans, to African nations, and said, let's start over, let's rebuild, let's grow together. We'll forget whatever debts we had, and let's go on. Mm. So if y'all are out there wondering if all this debt forgiveness stuff that we've been talking about, Jassar and Nassar and all these things, it may not be by that name. That name may not be the eventual, here's what we're doing. Mm. It may come under a different name, or it may be a different idea.
Right.
And somebody like Russia is already starting things like that. They just gave up $23 billion and said, let's start over. Let's rebuild. Mm. We know you're good for it because we know you got resources. Everybody knows that's where the resources are. So, that's why, look at those countries now, Niger and Sudan. I'm not sure about Sudan, but there's a couple other ones right in those areas. They just had coups last week, and their militaries took over. And they're pushing the French out. And they're saying, we want y'all out. Y'all got to go. Mm. It's time for us to take over our own nations. Mm. So you can see it. We keep saying this. You can see it in the world. You can see these other countries doing things. And then everybody's looking at us like, but what are we doing? Mm-hmm. I don't think anything's happening over here. It's like, there's a lot going on. A lot behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, definitely behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. Because they can't tell us everything up front. Because then it won't work. You know what I mean? They got to keep the enemy guessing, per se, too. So they're going to tell us some stuff. We're telling y'all some stuff, the things we're hearing, the stuff we're kind of seeing, and then trying to equate it, too, by saying, look at what Putin's doing with this debt forgiveness. Like, see that? It's happening elsewhere in the world. What makes you think it can't happen here, too? But like they said, they're saving Israel for last. What does that mean, though? We've never figured out what that means. We don't know if that's the Israel country that's, over in the Middle East, or if that's America. We're Israel. We're getting rid of Babylon. We're trying to, disperse and rebuild. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. Look at all the fucking nonsense that's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what, yeah. Yeah, that's what it's talking about. We are the Israelites.
Right. Exactly. And that's, that's a good way to look at it. That's the way we've looked at it. We've talked about it a little bit before. Mm-hmm. But if you're seeing it from those, because everything, like, think about it, right? That everything that, in a way, that's a lot of biblical things are happening right now, but they're not happening in the way that the Bible said it, because those were the Bible times. Whatever times those were. If it was 2,500 years ago, if it was 6,000 years ago, if it was 20,000 years ago, or whatever that time frame is of the Bible, that's the time frame and the idea they worked in. But those same events are happening again in different ways, in modern ways, in new ways, in ways we haven't even understood.
Yeah. So by you saying that, I'm looking at it like they just trying to play out the Bible.
Yeah.
of what it said.
That's one of the timelines that we're in. We're
Yeah.
in the timeline of having to
Right.
relive that timeline over and over.
You just got to do
in
it,
different
like,
ways. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think
just playing it out because it's in the book.
right.
So you trying to just follow along with the shit. And
Yeah, we're seeing it happen in real time in front of us, and most of us are not seeing it because we're not awake yet. You know, that's what part of this awkward intelligence. That's what this show is about. Is to point at things and go, look at over here. Look at what this is doing. Look what this country's doing. Look what these people are doing. That way we can then go, how does that equate to the timeline that we're in? Do you see the timeline? We talked about it. Timelines collapsing. As those timelines are collapsing and we're in that good timeline, we're gonna have to relive these events. But if you notice, as we relive these events, they're not biblical. They're not destroying. They're not doing all these things that the Bible had said they would do at some point, because that's what happened in those times. We've changed that timeline, and we're now working that timeline in this time in order to come out the victor in the end. We're not going to let all that stuff tear us down, you know?
right.
So that's the way it happened at that time when they wrote those books, you know? That was the outcome of what happened. And they left that breadcrumb for us to follow to understand what's going to happen now. That's all it is.
Bomb droppers.
You know, it's that simple but that complicated, because you have to pay attention to what's actually happening and then equate it to those times. But it's not going to be exactly the way they say it, you know. It's not going to, you know, when they said like the Euphrates River, you know, when it dries up, you know, then it's going to unleash angels that'll come on the world and start destroying things and, you know, whatever. I don't know the whole Bible like that, but, you know, it talks about different things like that. And you saw how the Euphrates River dried up. But then what happened? We didn't get a lot of, per se, destruction that happened at that moment. Maybe it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Or
It
maybe
dried up.
Or maybe it's only happening to the ones it needs to happen to.
Bomb droppers.
You know what I mean? It's not happening on a global scale, but it's happening on the scale for that, of what it needs to accomplish, what that accomplishes for the world, you know? So could be that too. I don't know.
Yeah. They're just playing it out. Whatever it said in the Bible, they going to go through it.
Yeah, I believe that that's somewhat the timeline that we're living. When they talk about how we've been here for multiple lives, we've lived in multiple ages, and we've lived through multiple timelines, that's what we were doing. We were trapped in that biblical timeline over and over and over and over, but in different time frames and with different, you know, industrial revolutions and you know, and all these different things over the years. And that's why we were living these timelines and we're trapped of doing that, resurrections and over and da-da-da. But I think we figured it out. This is the final timeline. This is us getting into the golden age, building through, and finally getting the heaven on earth we were you know, promised. Yeah,
Yeah. We got to make that.
right.
Ain't nobody else going to do that.
But part of it is us
Believe
too.
me.
Right.
There's nobody else going to do that but us. We got to make that on that change. That sacrifice, man.
Right. And it's everything we've talked about. You know, it's being good to your neighbors, being good to those people around you, healing yourself so that you can heal others, you know, doing all those things, teaching people things. Why, you know, it's like
Right.
everybody's got all these secrets and everybody's hiding around everything and everybody wants to be shisty and finesse people and do these different. We've learned how to do all these things to be sneaky. But no one is doing all the, you know, it's like when you get in a room with somebody, man, and you're talking and you're having a conversation, it's y'all two having that conversation or y'all 3 or 5 or whoever it is. Right. And you're having those conversations. And yes, you can talk about things and give up information, or you cannot. You can hold, you know, hey, I'm only going to say so much about so much. It doesn't matter. But by having those conversations, you're able to see their auras, you're able to understand their facial expressions, you're able to see their ideas. That way you can then gather more information on that just through those interactions, you know. But when we're on the phone or we're, you know, we're doing these different things where we're not connected with each other, that's how people can have all these secrets and ideas and things behind your back without you understanding what's going on. And then you're wondering, well, how did that happen? How did, what happened there? And then they're like, well, they were conspiring behind your back, because things weren't transparent. Things weren't in the open. Nobody knew what the left hand and the right hand were doing.
Right.
So.
Right.
So those are things where when we get to this new earth, we're going to be more truthful with each other. We're not going to need to hold as many secrets. The world we're in was built that way. It was built for us to do that so that at some point we would turn against each other. And that's what we've done all these years. We don't, like we said, we don't talk to our neighbors. We don't talk to people. We don't say nothing. Some of us still do.
Yeah.
But
you got to.
But
I
overall,
do.
the overall, it's like when you think about it. Check this out. The next time you go somewhere, right? Just people watch a little bit. But people watch, you don't have to stand there and people watch, but just watch the way others are interacting.
Don't look crazy
with the world. Just watch how they're interacting, and then it's like, you'll see they're not holding doors for people.
No.
They're not worried about anybody else. They're trying to get their little thing done and they're moving on. They don't care about what everybody else is doing in the store. They don't care what everybody else is doing in the mall. They don't, you know what I mean? Nobody's really like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? And talking and striking up conversations and, but they do, like a lot of times when I go places, people strike up conversations with me just randomly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like you said, same thing. You get that too. And it's because your aura is they can feel your aura and feel your energy and know that you're a good, genuine person and you're just trying to have a quick conversation. It's not, not a big deal. But when we're all stuck in family, work, trying to live, trying to be a little happy, all this stress, it's like we don't have time to even have a 5-minute conversation with the next guy, and just kind of see what's happening in the world. How's everything going?
That shit, it only got to be that long.
No, yeah, 30 seconds. Quick conversation, like you do, like you're just standing in line, waiting in line for something. Have a quick conversation and move on, I do it all the time. It's something you have to consciously be aware of. And when you understand your energy, you know that. People will gravitate to you. People will ask you questions. People will want to know what's going on. So I don't know. Maybe it's, like I said, sometimes when I do things and I just think they're normal, I don't know that everybody else is not doing the same thing. I just don't think about it. But I'm starting to think about it now because of what we're trying to create here with this community. I'm starting to really think about, like, okay, just because I do things and I think they're normal doesn't mean everybody else does. And so that's where I got to figure that out and try to pass that on to the world. That's part of my energy,
Right.
Yeah. It's to keep those things going. To talk to the world, But to, and to bring good energy, man. I bring good energy to the room.
That's it.
That's
it. That's all it's about nowadays, man. Energy. For real. Energy. Keep your energy.
Energy is everything.
Keep your motherfucking energy to yourself. If nobody, you could tell somebody negative, man.
Right.
You could tell.
You see it right away. Yeah.
Right.
By how they talk and what they say. They don't use words that will sound positive.
Right.
You feel it. It. You know what? And sometimes when I talk to people that are like that, it kind of hurts. Like when they talk to you, it kind of feels like it hurts. You're like
damn.
You're like, fuck. There's a lot of bad energy and pain in there. You know what I mean? You're like, I can't even feel like I can talk to you that long because it just hurts, like. But those are also some of the same people that I want to help. You know what I mean? Because they're some of the most hurt people right now.
Yeah, but
you
like
can't help
said,
everybody. You can't.
We can't get to everybody.
It's not. It's not your job to help everybody.
Right.
You only help who you can. Like we've said, you help who you can. You can't help everybody.
You can't. You could try until you see it's not working.
Because really,
there's nothing I could do now.
Right. Like we've said before, if you heal yourself and you change what you're doing and you use that energy to just live your life and do your things, everybody who comes in contact with you will then start to see it and start to change their own scenarios, which means you're changing them without actually having to tell them anything.
Bomb droppers.
Because I see it happen a lot, just from the ways that I start, I've been moving over the last couple of years. As I've been moving different, everyone else started moving different too, not everybody, but the majority of people, you start seeing how they start moving different, start asking questions, start talking, start seeing things, in a different way. And you're like, okay, yeah, you're changing people one person at a time.
That's all. Yeah.
And when everybody's doing that, we're all going to change the world together.
Bomb droppers.
Yeah. Like we said, what do we say? If you tell 10 people, they'll tell 10 people, and they'll tell 10 people, and next thing you know, the whole world is there.
Right.
So that's all it is. It's like, just hold the line. Don't let it fall back. Keep pushing forward, And in that way, as long as you know where the standard is, you just keep moving that standard forward until we get it back in a good spot. That's it.
Facts.
That's it.
That's it.
And it's going to be some work. There's going to be work involved. We said that. You got to do the work.
Yeah.
You got to do the work.
It ain't going to be easy.
It's not super easy, but it should be easy if you're in the flow. You'll flow easily to it. It's not going to be difficult, but it's not going to be easy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, sir.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like when you get in a good flow, when you get your life really moving into a good position, man, things are not, like we talked about before, things are not going to be, your problems aren't going to be huge ass problems. They're going to be problems that you can solve, problems that you can handle. Yeah, you still got to work, but you're like, okay, I don't have to do all of this. I just have to do this. Instead of these 5 steps, I only got to do these 2. And so that's where, when you're in the flow, you just handle it. You take care of these problems. As they show up, you handle it, push it to the side, handle it, push it to the side, and keep going. Instead of having to stop, deal with this shit, think about it, and then try to come back and keep going again. Like, of course, it's every time you stop, it takes energy, more energy to get going again. Right?
True. Yeah.
But if you're just flowing and then you're kind of just knocking stuff out the way as you go, you're still moving. It's not going to be as hard to keep going,
Bomb droppers.
That's how I'm looking at it. Just keeping that positive energy, that positive idea of like, anything that comes at me, I'm going to handle it. I'm going to handle it. I'll take care of it.
Right.
That's, I heard that one time in they said like a dad, right? If you're a dad, they're like, most of the time dads don't, if like their kids tell them something, their dad doesn't go, oh, fuck. He just goes, I'll handle it. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah. It's like, we're never thinking down. We're just like, all right, I'll take care of it.
I got it.
And that's what you got to do with life. Every time something comes at you, I got this. I'm going to handle this, whatever it takes. And that's it. That's how you know you're going to keep it moving. And that's how you know everything's going to be good. Everything's going to work out in the end. Everything that's for you will be there.
Yeah. Can't be worrying, man.
Yep.
That worrying.
Yep. Be a warrior, not a worrier. That's what we said earlier, remember?
Bomb droppers.
I heard that from another podcast that I was watching.
For real.
And I thought that was something good that I could pass along, is be a warrior, not a worrier.
Not a worrier.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah. Because it goes along the lines of what we talked about before of, if you're living in the future and you're living in the past, you're not living right now. You're not living in the moment. So instead of worrying about everything, just be a warrior. Like you said last week, Hulk through it.
Yeah, man.
You gotta Hulk through it sometimes.
Well, you gotta keep pushing.
Just be a warrior.
Like you're saying, you gotta keep pushing.
Keep it moving.
For real. Gotta keep pushing, man. Get to your destination. First, you gotta step back to see where you're going.
Right. Exactly.
Like we always say.
Sometimes you got to step back, assess the scenario, and then make your move. And make your first move your best move. Your next move your best move, you know, or whatever. And then then you're on your way. And once you're on your way, you're gonna get it done. All it takes is that first motion. You know, most of us don't want to go to the gym, but all you got to do is get that first day in. You get that first day in, you're like, I'm coming back tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you just get you know, as what do they say, 19 days to create a habit or some shit like that. You know, you just got to get the discipline. We've talked about this plenty of times. Your discipline. When you focus on something, focus in and know why you're doing it. You're doing it this short term, you know, that you think is you know, it's like when you're trying to build it, the short term sacrifice and discipline you're putting together is for the long term you.
Bomb drop.
You know what I mean? You're gonna transform yourself in this moment so that your future self will thank you later. You know, that's all it is. You know, and I've done it, and I've slid back, and I've fucked up on a lot of things too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like we
shit,
said,
man,
we're
we
still
all that.
working, we're still
Right.
building. We're not perfect people. You know, I got soda in my fridge right now, folks. Damn, my hair. It's getting crazy.
Soda in the fridge.
You know, I tried to stop sodas, you know, but I have them every now and again. A lot of times I don't keep them in the house. That way I won't want them. But there's soda in my fridge, so I'm going to drink it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I go back to the store and get more soda when that soda's gone. I'm done with the soda when that soda's gone. Then I try to make it as many days as I can again without, you know, dealing with that situation. But if soda gets back in my fridge, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just putting that discipline together, and you know, and stuff like that. But also, like I said, having a soda every now and again doesn't hurt you. You know, just don't. If you want to get away from it, don't make it a habit, because that's what keeps you doing it is the habit. It's like, because see, I thought about this a while back, was like when I was drinking, right? I'd go to the bar, and going to the bar, well, you're going to drink, you're going to have a good time, you're going to hang out with people, and you're going to meet new people, and you know, it became a thing.
Continue to
right?
Yeah.
So then at one point I told myself, I'm only going to have a soda if I go out. But how many times do you go out a week? You know what I mean? It's like I could count this right here as an outing.
Yeah.
Then you start turning everything to an outing.
Oh shit.
And then you have a soda every time you go out, right? So now you haven't really slowed down your sodas.
Right.
It's not a treat anymore. It just becomes part of something else. So you have to think about that too. Is like when you tell yourself, okay, I'm only going to do it with this, you're still giving yourself an out, and then you're creating a scenario where it's okay to do it again. You know, think about it that way, right? Right? For the community, think about it that way. So maybe there isn't conditions. Maybe you go, you know what? If I have a soda, I'm not going to be mad at myself. You know, I'm going to say that was a treat at that moment, but I got to be better. Then you'll start to be conscious of every time you go out, you're like, no, I don't want a soda today. You know, I'm going to do, you know, something different. I'm going to have juice, or I'm going to have, you know, water or whatever, you know what I mean? And or maybe some tea or something, you know, something different, maybe a cup of coffee, whatever. But stay off the soda, you know what I mean? And so just a different way to look at it, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To help people out there who might have had that scenario where they said, oh, I'm only going to do this for this reason. But then they'll find every reason they can to get to so that they can do it. You know what I mean? It just becomes another habit, but in a different way.
Bomb droppers.
So, I don't know. Maybe something to think about. And I'm not even sure if I explained that properly.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, well, no. Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
I got it.
Yeah, so what man, I shouldn't be asking this, but what type soda you like? That you trying to get away from the shit.
Diet Pepsi, Pepsi Max, you know, a diet soda of some sort. but pretty much just Pepsi. I'm a Pepsi fan. But,
Pepsi.
Yeah, I used to drink regular Pepsi as a kid, when I was a young kid. Got out of that probably in my mid-20s, then turned into Diet Pepsi at the time, and then just drank Diet Pepsi for years. And then around 2012, I gave up sodas. I didn't drink sodas again until 2017 when I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Because when I stopped drinking, I was like, what do I drink now? What else is there to drink?
Water, I guess.
Right. So for those 5 years, that's all I was drinking was water and wine, like Jesus. That's all I was having. But then at the end of 2017, when I quit drinking, I looked at it and like, well, what else do I drink now? I can drink water or, and then like I said, I let myself have a soda here and there. Okay, I'll do it here. But then it turned out into every time I come to the studio, I'd have a soda. Every time I went to get something to eat, I'd have a soda. You know what I mean? And then I was like, now I'm just drinking fucking sodas again.
That's crazy, yeah.
So I turned it into a habit. And that's what, I turned it into a different habit. And that's where I was like, I think a lot of us fall into that, is we think we're doing better. And then we just fall into new habits with some of those things. And we're not really, that's your slide back. You're like, fucked up, But you don't realize it until a year later, when you're like, damn, I'm supposed to not be drinking sodas and look what I did, So yeah, that's what I say, And I tell y'all right here on the show, look, I'm not hiding nothing from y'all.
Yeah.
I fuck up sometimes.
I had a black and mild addiction. I'm glad I got rid of that shit.
Yeah. But have you had one since?
No.
You're not thinking about it?
Done.
You don't get to the store and want to buy one? You don't say, hey, I'm going to have it as a treat one day?
No. I don't care if I see it.
If someone else is smoking one, or if
somebody doing all that extra shit.
What if they offer
I used to do? No.
You'll be like,
done.
Right? See what I'm saying?
That's it.
That's the discipline you need to have.
Gotta have that.
But you can also put that in everything else. When you say, I'm going to do something. Boundaries.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? How people always say everybody's got to have their boundaries. You got to know when to say no to people and how to say no to people and not feel bad and guilty about that. Sometimes, like we say, you can't help everybody. Everybody's always asking for help or things or needs or, whatever. Sometimes you got to go, it's not for me. I'm not going to do that, and not feel bad about it.
Right.
But that could be the discipline. You got to put that discipline together and say, hey, in this scenario, I'm not going to let people take advantage of me anymore. And then you have to stick to it. No matter, and find ways to do it healthy instead of just like getting angry and upset about it every time someone tries to get you in that scenario. Just find a healthy way to go, nope, that's not for me. I don't do that anymore. Thank you. And
sometimes, man, hey, sometimes even when you come healthy with it, man, they just. Right.
They're still going to be
like, come on, man. Like, shit.
It's not for me, bro.
How do you want me to do this shit? Then?
Right.
Like,
yeah. That's where it can get frustrating. Yeah, it's because, you're like, everybody still wants to offer you things, Oh, you want a drink? They still do it to me. You want to take a shot? And I'll be like, nah, I'm good. And they'll offer it to me, but that doesn't mean I have to take it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You don't got to take it.
Yeah, that's,
Man, remember, we all have decisions, man.
Choices.
It's up to you.
Yeah, we all have choices and decisions.
You can always say no, man.
Yeah, there's no, right. Dare to say no.
Ain't no pressure on you, man. Shit. Some people just can't take that word though, man.
Yeah.
No, like.
Well, they take it personal.
You just gotta accept that shit.
It's a personal situation. Like,
ain't nothing with you.
Yeah, it's like it's nothing against you. Nah, I don't deal with that.
Right.
I'm good. So. But yeah, it's like if I want to drink, if you offer me one, I say yeah, I'll take one. I'll take one. Not a problem. But it's like, because I tell people now, like sometimes, they'll just be like, hey man, you good? Everybody drinking and shit? I'm like, I don't give a shit what y'all do. You know what I mean? And if I want to drink, I'll drink. But if I don't, then I don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not worried about you. Have fun. Do your thing, I found, that's another thing that we talk about. I found ways to have fun and be myself without all that. I had to figure it out, because it's like, what was I want to say 25 years of my life probably I was drinking. From 14 to 39, or 38 or some shit like that, like 25 years. I was a drinker. You know what I mean? On and off. I had moments where I would stop for a little while and moments where I would, it's, there was times where, like I said, I did the same thing. I'd be like, okay, maybe I'll only drink on weekends. So now I would only drink on weekends. That might last 6 months. And then next thing I know, it's Tuesday afternoon, I'm in the bar drinking.
Full blown.
And then next thing I know, I'm in there twice a week. Then I'm in there 3 times a week. You know what I mean? And then next thing I know, it's every day. And that's how you do it. You fall off a little bit and you think it's okay. And then you let yourself slide and slide and slide, and you keep coming up with excuses and, oh, well, it's this, and this just happened to me, and my job's stressing me, and you start thinking about all these things. Yeah. And you're just justifying it to yourself instead of holding to
your discipline. Really hurting yourself, for real.
Instead of holding to your discipline. It's the biggest part of it is the discipline.
Right.
So.
Figure the problem out, man.
Yeah, there's a root cause of all of this, and if that's the whole working on yourself part.
Yeah.
When I maybe we haven't explained that enough. It's working on yourself. What does that mean? Because most people will go, "I'm working on myself." It's like, but you right. You got to understand what that means, and I think
you gotta find yourself like your inner self, man. Not just the outside. Like your brain, how your body move,
right. Right. What makes you happy?
Right.
Why? What your passions are. What do you like to do? Are you artistic? Are you? Do you like to help people? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you have empathy for people? Do you have empathy for a scenario? Maybe there's a way you can help in your community. I mean, you know what I mean? You might have all these things going on, and you got to figure out how that works for you because like I said, when you're doing things for others and you're helping and you're living your life, you're satisfied by that. That satisfies you. It's like think about it. It's like your mom, right? I had my mom's on last week. But it's like if your mom, when she was taking care of you and feeding you that bottle, you think she wanted to do that? You know what I mean? Like ultimately, that was her life. Right. She was like, I want to be able to just feed a baby for hours every day. No,
she had to do that.
But she did it because you were her joy.
Right.
You were her love, and she knew that sacrifice was going to make you a better person in your life.
Droppers.
So she sacrificed, mom and dad. My bad. I'm just throwing moms in there. But, mom and dad together or whatever, what they did for you while you were a child was so that you could be a better person. And they sacrificed a lot of different things for that, And I'm not the best person. I've talked to you about this before, I had work and, all these different things that was distracting me. I could have been better when my kids were younger. I could have did more now that I look back at it, But, whatever happened, and the way it is now is totally different, and we're good. We figured things out. I've started to rebuild those relationships over the last few years and try to make up for some of the things that I wasn't available for, It's like like right now, I just dropped my daughter off at work before I came here, and I told her the other day, I said, when I was, when you were younger, when I was younger, I would have loved to be able to take you to school every day and pick you up from school and do these different things. Work didn't let me do that, So, I had to rely on. Luckily, we live close to some of these schools. You could walk, or you caught the bus if we didn't, So there was options that you got to learn, different things you got to learn. But if I could have been there, I would have, But now I drop you off at work. I pick you up from work at different times, and I'm good with that.
That's it.
Because I'm able to do it now.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to do it then, And so she's
bomb droppers.
Yeah.
That's all they gotta understand.
And she gets it, know. She's like, you're right. And that's why I told her, I can be better now. Can't change what happened back then. But I can be better now, and I can be the person you need me to be now, and for the rest of my life, I can be that person. And so that's where I'm at with it, That's the working on myself. That's the building my own shit in order to then pass it along and have those conversations with her, and my son as well, It's like, if we're not talking, we've said it before, you're your kid's first teacher. You know, if we're not talking to them, if we're not teaching them, if we're not saying things to them, a lot of this stuff we're talking about, I say the same shit to them on a daily basis, you know, about different scenarios that they're going through and things that are happening to them. I'll go, oh, well, think about this. You know, we've talked about this on the show, or whatever. You know, give them some advice. And then they'll go, oh, okay, yeah, I've seen that, you know, or whatever. And then, you know, and then they'll be able to make a better decision of their own with that information. You know?
That's what it's about, making decisions. The right ones, though. In order to find yourself for real, man, you got to be by yourself, too.
Yep. You got to have some conversations with yourself.
Yeah, you got to be, like, alone. You know, for you to figure these things out. For real.
But, yeah, it's just your interactions, your daily interactions with everybody.
Yeah.
Everything, you know, it matters. You matter. We're still here for a reason. We're still here to you know, it's like, you know, if we're ushering in this new earth, this heaven on earth, somebody's got to be the pioneer. You know what I mean? And welcome to Awkward Intelligence.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? We're
up?
pioneering these ideas and we're throwing them in the world. And we're helping the vibration and the levels of the world so that we can raise everybody up together. And let's all go. What's it? Where we go one, we go all.
We go all.
There it is.
Bomb droppers.
Yep.
Which we should have been doing. For real.
Yeah, if we knew, but we had to know. Somebody had to tell us. Somebody had to tell me so that I could tell others. And then those others can tell others, you know. And that's where it is. It's like some of us, like we've said, some of us just never heard this information. And then when you hear it, it resonates. It makes fucking sense. And then you go, fuck, why wasn't I doing this? Because just no one ever thought about it. We never was talking about it. They wanted us to be confused, man. You know, and the more confused and discombobulated and all that other shit and tied up and stressed and, you know, 40 years of work for 40% of your pay for the rest of your life, if you're happy with that, you know, that's where they wanted you. You're just another fucking, you know, crab in the bucket. So, yeah. That's what they tried to do to us. It's like, if you can't see that, just that part of it, like then, you know, like this is life. We're all sitting here going, this is life. Nothing we can do about it. No, there is something we can do about it. And it starts with you.
Definitely. Yeah. We gonna ride on them.
Yep, there it is. Should we play the song now? Let's get this song going. Oh,
just in case some shit pop off, we got
shit.
You know, we got our good chair right here.
We got our Alabama Slammer.
We got the original chair.
It's already got action.
Just the original chair that got
action.
You know, to hit the lady in the head.
Yeah, we're not condoning violence or anything. You know what I mean? But always defend yourself. We've always said that.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to go out there and create chaos. But if chaos is happening, defend yourself. You always have the right to defend yourself. That's always been a thing. You know, nobody can ever take that from you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got this song, Rich Black, from his new album, The Bigger Ape, on all digital platforms. I got a feature. Folks. It's called OG Gorilla Glue. Y'all ready? Here we go.
Asking if my niggas street like we don't pie holes. Lonely messages left in a broken bottle. Shit I read, I proceed, it progressed to a novel. Life's a bitch and it's a hard pill to swallow. Can receive some relief to relieve some sorrow. Catching temporary highs, zombie short following. Blood money short, so it leads to some. If it don't apply, let it fly. But if he dies, then he dies. Fight for what? When these choppers like dry. You don't wanna get your bell rung for the beef, it ain't tacos. If I run up for the cheese, then it's not your black mask and a black hoodie. You think I got gold? You big bicker with bitches, you niggas not bold. Nothing sweet in the clip when I got Nino on top mode. Asking if my niggas street like we on potholes. Soon as the body get dropped, that's when we swap clothes. If I get your bitch kidnapped, she gets the stock up. Ain't no middleman in this deal, I need the whole P. Dope so raw, it need cuts and no look. I know a little bit about a lot, so what you show me? I ain't tryna be rude, but I ain't learned shit from my OG. Yeah. You can put the hustle in overdrive, just don't OD. Yeah. But if I do the crime, I do the time, don't need a code.
Now our realities are so different. Chasing cheap thrills and plenty of loose women. I don't understand all the squares in the world as they turn up their nose to me and my dirty girls. I'm a savage at heart. I finish what I start. Build that shit up, I can break it all apart. Just sitting in the dark, thinking the days past. 40-some years, life flew by fast. I walk a tough road, cause things ain't perfect. Respect is mutual, but you have to earn it. And it was all worth it. The struggle kept me humble, gripping tight to the rock so I won't ever fumble. But the world keeps spinning, so I keep on trucking. And I can make miracles from absolutely nothing. Not many that I'm trusting, I keep a tight circle. Got sick of the alcohol, now I'm rolling up the perk.
Look, ain't no middleman in this deal, I need the whole P. Dope so raw, it need cuts and no look. I know a little bit about a lot, so what you show me? I ain't tryna be rude, but I ain't learned shit from my OG. Yeah. Look, you can put the hustle in overdrive, just don't OD. Yeah. But if I do the crime, I do the time, don't need a code. I got my eyes on the prize, you know I peep shit. Sneak this, go from a whole account to a beef test. Speak French, know I keep bullies round, ain't no secret. Oh, he crip, watch the blood leak, I think he switch. My youngest want a piece of the nigga, pass him a deep dish. If I take the shot, I'm on Kobe, but you gotta stay on point. Defense, you gotta guard deep. Watch your medulla oblongata, if you hustle, do it proper. These niggas on the bench and tryna ball a equal dollar. They tryna turn you to some gas, you better be diesel if it's sour. But if you touch one in my family, hit you evens every hour. Bleeding by the shower, tryna seek for power. In other words, I get devoured. Soon as the first shot let off, the rest will start to scour. You wash your hands with bleach and shower. Just hit my ringer for the jingle, I'm just tryna stack a dollar. Ain't no middleman in this deal, I need the whole P. Dope so raw, it need cuts and no look. I know a little bit about a lot, so what you show me? I ain't tryna be rude, but I ain't learned shit from my OG. Yeah. You can put the hustle in overdrive, just don't OD. Yeah. But if I do the crime, I do the time, don't need a code D. Code D.
You.
Yes, sir.
Rich Black, Bigger Ape, OG, Gorilla Glue, featuring Intoxicated.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a little something for y'all to
Go check it out.
check out the vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get back to the Alabama brawl. I guess we gotta at least address it and just see what's going on with it,
Yeah.
Because I think we kind of mentioned something before the show, and it was like, I think there's powers out there that are still trying to get a race war going. They're still trying to get us to fight each other. This is what they want.
Yeah, it shouldn't even be about no damn race, man. Yeah. As you can see, we in the same boat together.
Yeah, that's what we're not recognizing.
We all in the same boat together.
No, was that no? You just said that we're in the same boat when it was all a boat fight, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What do they call that? I went blank. It was like, oh man,
shit, we're in the same boat together, man. For real, man.
No pun intended. There
It
was,
ain't,
right?
yeah.
That's
Ain't
what I was
no,
looking for.
ain't no race involved, man.
Yeah, because we've already broke that down. Why are we fighting over race? This has nothing to do with nothing. We're the human race. We should be fighting against the power that's oppressing us, which is the government.
Bomb droppers.
Read your Constitution again. Go back to what episode was that? 20? Something like that. Go back a few episodes. We read some parts from the Constitution, and none of it in there said race. None of it in there was like, only if you're this race, only if you're that race. It said, we the people.
I seen it though. I liked it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when everybody came over and helped.
They came together, and that's what I said.
You feel me?
You can you got to defend yourself. You know, we can't stand back and watch the rest of the world defeat everybody.
That was tough.
We've got to stand up with each other and build.
Right.
You know. So yeah, I liked that energy. Right, the coming together of people.
Right.
And saying we're not going to take this shit. You know.
And if we stop coming at each other like that,
correct,
we be all right, man.
We reflect that energy in the right
See
way.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you dropping up, you dropping Lil Earl in them. You feel me? Like he one of our soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? He one of our peoples, man.
Right.
You never know, we might need him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we need everybody.
Yeah.
And as many as we can get. You know. Because, yeah, we're going to change this through the majority of us, the people, instead of letting the government be the majority.
Right.
That's what we let happen. We let the government become the majority. They ruled over us. We thought we were in or we were supposed to be in a republic. You know what I mean? This is the United States Republic, technically, under the Constitution. But what we let them do is tell us it's a democracy. Does everybody understand what a democracy is? A democracy is majority rule. How does that work for the people if majority rules?
And we had no say.
Right. Because you get to a level where you have no say. Because your majority doesn't rule. And the majority that rules in this country right now is the elite. What we consider the elite, you know? And I'm using that word because that's what we call them. You know what I mean? We call them the elite, and then we let them rule us. And then we wonder why we have all these problems and all this shit's going on and why we don't have this and why we don't have that. We got to get out of that. It's class. It's class that divides us right now, not race. It's class, you know?
Right. Nah, I'm pretty sure that video touched a lot of people.
You can take a lot of different things from it.
You know, right.
Yeah, you can definitely take a lot of different, and you can look at it in different ways. It's not all just about a straight brawl,
right.
You know. There's definitely a lot more to it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're right. Mm-hmm. He had to defend himself.
Right. He had the right to defend himself. Yeah. I'm not
you know what I mean? You gotta do.
Yeah. He had the right to defend himself, regardless of the scenario.
Right. Shit, you ain't gonna just hit me like that all crazy.
And he just out there doing his job.
Right.
You know?
Right.
He's out there trying to get his job done and people, impeding that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Because that's why, like when I go places and I do things and, I'm at the cashier or I'm at, whatever, that person's got a job, and you can get in arguments over bullshit, or you can say, okay, that's your job. I got you. Let me do what I got. How do we fix this? How do we make this work? Because I'm not happy. You're not, what's going on? And then you come to an agreement of some time, but not every agreement or idea can come together sometimes. And we've talked about that. And then when it turns to violence or whatever it turns into, you have the right to defend yourself at that point, But then who gets in trouble? The people who reacted.
Yeah.
It's never the people that start the shit. It's always the people that react. So that's what you have to remember too, is like, could some of that have been specifically staged per se?
I mean, well,
you know what I mean?
Do I say that? No, because I did see some people still, they were still beating up people in front of the police.
Right.
You know what I'm
they
saying?
were letting a lot of shit
right.
go.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, you know what I mean? Like, think about it. It's like everybody was cool until that chair got involved.
Yeah. Right. Right.
The chair came off the top rope.
Right.
On a couple of those people.
Shit. Then I seen one officer push the damn lady. She fell and shit. I'm like, damn, what?
Yeah. It was like everybody for themselves at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. It was like
I just like how we all came together for real.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
It's like the radical militant in me. You know what I mean? Was like, man, that's how it should be. Anytime some shit goes down, let's just fucking wreck shop. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm thinking, fuck, okay, I can't think like that either. I can't be that too aggressive. You know what I mean? We still got to come to some resolutions and some ideas sometimes. We can't always take it straight to violence.
I mean,
But-
shit. If it happens,
But like we said, if it happens, you got to do what you got to do. You know?
I mean,
Yeah.
you call me whatever. I don't give a damn.
I was
As long as you don't touch me.
they called that the first time a black man swam to a fight. Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
They came from the water. They came from the land. Those motherfuckers flying in. You know what I'm saying? They said Avengers Assemble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bomb droppers. Shit. They came from all over. That's what it was. That's what it is.
But that's what we got to do on a bigger scale. You know what I mean?
Right.
We got to take back our power, and you know what? It might sometimes it might have to take. We've done it before. We've had civil wars. We've had, we've battled, and it might get to a point where we might have to do that again. You know what I mean? We might have to have some small battles in order to get to where we need to get to.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's the
But
reality.
Don't just go around smacking, just beating up
Right.
white people
Just
and
in-
shit.
yeah.
Or,
Nothing in general like
Nah.
that. People don't deserve that. You got to go to the right scenario.
Right.
That's why we're saying let's unite as people and go fight the real motherfuckers. Stop fighting each other.
Yeah.
Because that's what they want. That's what keeps us in the bullshit. Because we're not fighting the right people.
Keep us in the damn loop, man.
Yeah, man. What else did we have? I think we said it all already.
Shit.
We're doing good here.
That's
We're hitting the
crazy,
fucking
man.
points. Oh shit.
Yeah. Realize, man, we gotta stick together. And that showed a lot right there.
It still showed that we're still working.
Yeah.
Still working.
Yeah.
Still working.
Yeah.
But on that type of scale, like you're saying, more people got to see that and a lot of emotion and different emotions and different ideas, and you know what I mean? So that was good. It gets people talking. Welcome to Awkward Intelligence. But let's have healthy conversations about it.
Right.
Like you're saying. It's like, it's real easy. Like I remember, that takes me back. I remember when, remember when the movie Higher Learning came out? With Ice Cube Higher Learning.
Yeah.
With Ice Cube and all them and shit. With fucking what else? Busta Rhymes, I think, was in there, and some other people and shit. Remember that one? That was like 90s, right?
Yeah, I remember it.
I remember going and watching that movie, and then you leave that movie, and you're just waiting for somebody to test you. You know what I mean? You're like, say something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And so, it's like
That's crazy. There's another movie like that too.
So it's like a lot of movies are like that, but don't take that scenario and create that. That's not what we're looking to create. It's to get you to understand and say, okay, we need to stop fighting each other and start fighting the real fucking scenarios, That's what we should be taking out of this.
Right.
Is see how easy it is for us to just fight each other, and then what happens? Nothing changes.
Nothing.
Nobody wins. You know what I mean? There's no scenario in that where anybody's winning per se, because we're not fighting anything that's worth it at that point. We're just fighting each other. So crazy.
That was wild though.
Yeah, it's like that's the energy they want to create, and that's not what we want. That's not what we should be wanting. We'll get it figured out, man. That's what we're here for.
Shit. Shit, a lot of people just seen it, just the little brawl and shit. So they seen it for but they were just fighting and shit. Shit, 'cause that, that's what happening now on TV. That's all they doing is fighting.
Yeah, right. That's all those reality shows. That's all it is every week. Who's gonna slap who?
Right, yeah, right.
Who's gonna throw a drink in whose face? Who's
Who gonna slap who?
yeah?
Yeah, fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's like same thing I've been telling everybody for the past couple weeks. Is at some point I had to change the input that I was inputting into my mind, into my brain, into my my spiritual, my physical, my mental, all of that. if I was taking in nothing but negativity, you know, you're at work, you're stressed, you're just fucking, you know, it's just tearing you down, you know, your fucking arms and shoulders are hurt when you get home, and you're like, fuck, man, I've been doing all this shit all day, and I've been walking all day, so now my legs hurt too, you know, and you're just like, what is this? What am I doing this for? You know, yeah, it's making a few dollars here and there. You know, you're making some money, but at the same time, you're like, okay, you're beating yourself down physically, right? Then you go home, and what do? You scroll fucking Instagram looking at, you know, ass and titties and violence and people fighting and all this shit, right? And then so that's all your input. You're just inputting all that shit. That's where I'm describing myself at some point right here. So this is all the shit you're doing to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I was just making sure everybody was getting that. It's like, I'm kind of explaining to myself here. And then at some point I said, you know what? If I keep doing this, what is that going to do to me? It's just beating me down more. So I cleaned up my Instagrams. I cleaned up my input. I stopped watching the reality shows. I stopped watching the bullshit. I started watching, you know, I started learning things. I started watching cooking shows. I started, you know, understanding things, and, you know, and you know, listening to more spiritual shit and you know, and stuff like that. And not spiritual as in just Bible stuff. Right. Some of that. But a lot of it is learning, you know, why, you know, our chakras, and learning, you know, things about your body that I never understood, the metaphysicals and, you know, and all this stuff, and putting all that together. And then now here I am, a much better person, less stressed. Work's not beating me down anymore. I'm doing other things. Mentally, I'm not taking in a bunch of negativity. Yeah. So I'm better there. You see how you can see it just in general. The way I've been on this show, it's all you've known is a pretty cool Intox. You know what I mean? Because that's who I am now. That's the idea. I'm not inputting all that negative shit as much. You know, even music. Yeah. Talked about that. Even the music. I'm not just listening to just fucking shoot 'em up, bang bang music all fucking day. I'm putting in, you know, old school 70s jams. I'm listening to the different shit. You know, and that's so
crazy. On the way here, I was, what's that, 95.9? They was rocking the boy, playing the old school jams. But yeah, I feel you, man. You know, what you put in your brain, man. Your brain is a computer, man.
Right.
You know,
and if you're inputting,
it stores, right, it stores what you put in there. You know,
it's whatever you program it with.
Bomb droppers. I was going to write same direction with that.
Program it,
for
man.
real,
yeah, man. Get it.
Whatever you program it with, man, it's gonna get you. That's what you're gonna turn out to be.
Yeah. And then when I learned that, once I learned that, that's why I started doing everything and changing things. Yeah, man.
Shit, you gotta realize it. I know some people realize it, but they just don't want to do the shit.
They're not ready to face it. They're not ready to face it. Because like you said, you got to have conversations with yourself. They're not ready to have those conversations yet. You know, I had to sit there and look at myself and go, okay, yeah, that's not working. But what can I do to change that? Okay, I can do this, or I can do that. You see what I'm saying? And you had to have those. You got to have those real conversations with yourself. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I not happy? Why is this not working for me? And once you start having those conversations with yourself, you'll start realizing where you need to improve.
And you gotta know yourself. Man.
Yeah. But some people aren't ready for those conversations. You know? They're not ready to have that yet. They're still okay, and they're complacent in where they're at right now. They're like, okay, I'm right here. I'm maintaining. I'm doing okay. Yeah, it's fucked up, but I'm not struggling. You know, crazy. So I'm gonna be right here. But they don't think of how, you know, it's like, you know, like we said before, what do you do with your time? If you're 8 hours at work, but really it's more like 10, because you got an hour to get there and an hour to get home, right? Some are more. So you're anywhere from 10 to 12 hours of your day is at work, right? And then
you want to get paid for 8.
Right, exactly, right. And then you only get paid for 8, right? Exactly. So think about that, right? Then you want to try and get at least a decent hour sleep. So what are you thinking? 6? 6 is good for most people, you know? 7, 8, if you can get that.
Right, you need 8, but
so you add that together, that's already 20 hours now, right? Your sleep at 6 or 8, you know, is anywhere from 18 to 20 hours of your day right there, just working and sleeping. Mm-hmm. So now you got 4 hours, right? You haven't even hung out with your kids yet. You haven't had a moment for yourself. You know what I mean? You haven't talked to your spouse about anything, you know? And it's like you have 4 hours to do all that real quick and then go back to grind the next day again.
And do the same shit over and over again.
And that's why we're not happy, you know? That's why we're not happy. Because we don't have any time to do the things that matter to us, that matter in our scenarios.
Right.
You know? And I've been able to do that over this last year so far. I've been able to take the grind job out of the equation. And I've been able to do the things that matter for me and everyone around me. You know, like I said, I can drop my daughter off at work and pick her up. No problem. Mm-hmm. I can go spend time with my lady if that's what I want to do. Yes, I can spend time with family. I can help friends when they're in need of things, you know, and whatever. Because I have the time now to do that. For me, for the most part right now, sleep is the only thing on my schedule. If I sleep. You know what I mean? Because I can stay up till whenever I want if that's what I want to do. You know, and then the next day, if I have something to do, I have things put together that I need to do, I get those things done. Like I said, you do the one thing or two things you need to do that day, and then everything else is bonus.
Bonus.
You know what I mean?
Bonus droppers. Gave y'all some free game, man.
Yeah. Dropping it on them today.
Gave y'all some free game. For real.
So yeah, just you got to improve yourself, and if you're not willing to improve yourself, how's anything else going to improve? You know.
Shit. Remember, your energy attracts. So
yep.
If you're dealing with negative energy, you're going to attract negative energy.
Scenarios.
You know, you don't want that. Just gotta change that thing, man, for real.
Yeah, change your mind frame. Yeah, change your mind frame. Get yourself in a good space.
It's not hard, man. It's not hard.
Take some work, but it's not hard. Yeah, take some work. I'm still working. We're all still working.
Is you gotta listen. That's all I could tell you.
Stop, look, and listen.
Just listen.
Just listen. Shorty, you don't listen.
That's all I could tell you. For real. No.
So who's working with them digital assets?
Oh.
Is anybody, we've talked about it a few times on the show. Who's out there looking them up? Who's got the information? Who needs more information? Email us at awkwardintel@gmail.com. We put it at the beginning of the show every day. It's in the description. Hit us up if y'all need to know more. Where to look? You know what? I need to talk to a buddy of mine. He's got a lot of information on digital assets, and he knows about the show. I might need to get him in here. We might need to get him in here so that he can show a different perspective, not just us talking.
Yeah, break it down.
He'll have a better. Yeah, he's got a lot more information than I do. I talked to him a while back, and he was telling me some different things that he had been doing, and different ways that he was using the new digitals, the new digital things with the Bitcoins and all the different stuff. And he was able to work it, where he was finding, and there's a lot of gurus out there. You got to think that for everybody who understands the stock market, right? There's a lot of people you can go tap into and get information from them. This whole digital space, there's those people out there too. They know a lot about it. They understand it. They get the idea of how it works in that stock market type way. The ups, the downs, the ebbs, the flows, you know what I mean? All that shit. And so he's more in tune with that than I am. I'm still kind of on the fringes of it. I haven't dived real deep, but I know enough to navigate it. I just haven't dived in yet.
Got into it for real.
I feel like he's done a lot more diving than I have.
Yeah.
I think he could bring a good.
Like you said, it's some gurus out there.
Yeah, I think
that's all they do.
I think he could bring that next level we need. I think I've said what I can say for the most part. I'll work on that. I'll talk to him and see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. Next week or two, we'll try to get him in here. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Bring y'all some more information. Yep. Just so, because like I said, I don't have that much. I'm trying to tell y'all to do more research because I'm still doing my research. I'm not versed on it that well yet. But yeah, that's what we'll do. That sounds like a deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, digital assets. Yeah, we're not calling them cryptos anymore because crypto just means dead. You know, we're going to start calling them digital assets. And the reason that is because when we're saying assets, that means that these things are going to be backed by gold, silver, diamonds, oil, assets. You know what I mean? That's what we should be looking for. That's what we're looking towards.
Bomb droppers.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
That's crazy. I remember you put me on one of those.
Yeah. Did you catch one yet?
So yeah.
You caught one? You seen them?
Yeah,
I told you,
I
man.
Like, wow.
Yeah. There's a lot.
The whole time he's just talking about it.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit out there. Like you can probably find a TED Talk on just about anything. And it's just somebody's perspective and observation on something.
Right.
You know? Like we've talked about it. But yeah, it's like I could at this point with the knowledge that you have from doing a podcast, you could have a small 5-minute TED Talk on doing a podcast and how it's changed the way you look at things and how you use it. You know what I mean? You just create an idea. You go, I've been able to use this podcast to reach more people and do more things because the way I see it is you could just create your own little thing and go, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. And that's it.
That's it.
I mean? That's simple. It's just getting your perspective of it and being able to show how others can use those avenues, and move through it. Right. Yeah, man. We all have information. Some of us only have pieces of information. And so by putting those informations in music and in podcasts and in shows and in different things, more people are able to find it, see it, and then go, oh, I had a piece of that information. There's the second piece I need. Now I can put my shit together or whatever, That's what it is. That's why these conversations matter. Awkward intelligence,
It's like you said. Some people just, you might just got to hear it.
Just got to hear it. Just got to hear it. Because you could be unsure. You could be like, man, why am I thinking about that? But I don't know anything about it. I don't know what that is, but why am I thinking about it? And then you hear someone talk about it, and then you go, that's why. Makes sense now. Because like I said, they only have a piece. They don't have the full thing. So they're unsure why that even matters, until they see someone else either say it or do it, and then they go, oh, now it makes sense. Or now I have a better understanding of where I need to go. So, yeah. Yeah. The more shit we say, the more people will get. 35 episodes. Here we are.
Strong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you started episode 1 and you get to now and you didn't learn anything, you know what I mean? This show's not for you.
No.
Because we've given so much information. We've given access to information. We've said information. We've given good advice. We've had revelations.
Bomb droppers.
We've dropped bombs. I mean, we're doing so much on this show, which is what this is. This is who we are. I do this on a daily basis. To anybody I'm having a conversation with, I'm always trying to teach and move and think and navigate and how can that be better? Oh, you got a little story or scenario? Okay, cool. Oh, you ever thought about this? Oh, I didn't think about it. Boom. Now they're already better in that scenario, because they got more information. That's all it is. Like we said last week, was we only have an opinion with the information that we have. If we don't have the information, how can I have an opinion on it?
Right.
So, yeah. That's why we got to talk more. That's why we got to have more conversations, and do it healthily, in a healthy way. Like I said, we're not out here arguing with each other. You have a different perspective because you have different information. I have different information. Here's my perspective. Together, we figure out, that's how I do.
That's it.
I listen to people when they talk, and I'm just like, oh, that's the information I needed. Okay, now here's my theory. My theory's even better now, and whatever. So, yeah. I know a little about a lot. That's what it is. I know a little about a lot. But every time I have conversations and talks and listen to new podcasts and watch new shows, I'm just gathering more and putting more on top of it. It's the same thing everybody. Think about your professor at your colleges. You think he just is reading out of a book and he's like, this is my class? There's probably a few that do that. You know what I mean? That just read out of a book and go, here's the class I'm teaching you, But I bet a lot of those professors out there, which is who we are, we're professors of this. We're street professors. You know what I'm saying?
Street professor.
Right. Because it's like what makes him a professor? Just because people pay him to get information. That's it. That's the difference between us and them. Somebody just goes somewhere and pays that person to get their information. But at the same time, it's like that professor is learning too. At the same time, he's probably learning new things, looking at new ways. And then every class that comes in, he's learning from those people because those are a new set of brains that are now having ideas and conversations. And he's able to just take all that and then regurgitate it back out to them. And then they somehow learn his class.
Right. Understand. Right.
And they get it,
They understand. Yeah.
But that's all it is. We're the same thing. We're the news. We're professors. You know what I mean? We're scholars. We're everything. You just because someone has a title doesn't make them that. We've seen that in so many things. People have.
That's true.
It's like, it's like you have like a what do they call that? A sheriff. You got a sheriff in the town. He's got a title and an authority. But you know what? He's out there doing the most dirt. How does that make him any better than you? He just has a position and a title. But he's just like you. You know what I mean? He's doing the same bullshit you're doing.
Bleed just like me.
Yeah. So it's like we have to think, when you're out navigating people, it's like we're all human. We're all people. We all have the same shit. We just have different titles and different things that we're doing. But everybody wants to act like that's who they are. That's not who they are. That's just your title at work. But you know what I mean? You're not that person in the streets. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Shit.
So, yeah.
I'm the same everywhere I go.
Right.
That same. Laid back, cool.
Yeah. That's that whole check your energy at the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when you come in here, man, just bring good energy. There's no reason for you to be in your ego. There's no reason for you to bring your authority in here.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to think you're doing. Just come in here and relax and feel the vibe with everybody, Yeah. That's where you get your Karens from. They walk in that room and they brought authority with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, they got that phone.
Yeah.
Caught it low on your ass. Right.
They just brought authority with them. It's like, check that authority and that ego and keep that in your shit. Ask some questions. See what they're up to before you start assuming shit, Yeah. And leave those kids with the lemonade stands alone. Stop fucking with them. Just let them earn their little 50 cents on the side of the road.
Hold up. Well, what happened with that? What?
Oh, just in general.
Oh, I'm like, what the fuck?
You see one
Fucking with
every,
little kids.
you see one every 6 months of, somebody shutting down some little kid's lemonade stand because he don't have a permit. You're like, are we still doing this?
Damn.
Like, just let the kid fucking do his thing.
A lemonade stand. Come on. Like,
Like, how lucrative do you think this thing is? You know what I mean? It's like mom and dad bought the lemonade, helped him build the stand. It's a free enterprise. Let him do his thing. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't hurting nobody.
Right.
Him or her, whatever it is. Yeah, they're not hurting nobody. Just leave them alone. Got a permit to fucking sell some lemonade on the side of the road. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I saw some shit like that, man, I'd walk up and I'd just be like, yo, how much lemonade you got? $100 worth? Here's $100. And then sell it to more people. You know what I mean? I'm like, or just serve it to everybody now. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a fuck? They're just trying to do something. Trying to have a good time. They're not out in the street causing problems.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, but you can have a fucking dispensary with the line hanging out.
Right. Now it's legal for them to do that, right?
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Right. Times have changed.
Boy, let me have a line up with my shit.
I know you said that before.
What? They have a line up with my shit. Like, hey,
it's like, what are you doing in here? It's like, this is my dispensary.
Like, nah.
And they're like, well, you can't have that. Who says? You say I can't have that?
That shit crazy.
Got one down the street. You know? just because they've registered with the state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's cool.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah, them people got them cards and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how it started. Medical cards. I never got one. I didn't want to do that.
One either.
I was like, I refused to register. Fuck that. Not registering.
For what?
Yeah. I made it through.
Like,
now it's legal, so we're good.
Yeah, like,
but you know what I mean? It's like cards. I'm not doing no card.
I don't know.
It was a racket, man. The motherfuckers wouldn't even. They would meet you in a Burger King, and then ask you what your ailments were, and then you tell them, and then they go, "All right, you're good. See you later. That'll be $100."
Wow.
And you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like, we could have did this on the phone. You know what I mean? Like, and some of them probably are doing it on the phone. That's how fucking bullshit you knew it was. You're like, it's all bullshit. It's just another way for them to pull another few $100s out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what all this shit is. You know, it's like putting fucking, you gotta pay like $200 every other year for your fucking license plate.
Yeah.
You know, every year's registration. Every couple of years, it's fucking emissions and all these different things. What's any of that doing? It's just money in their pockets, man.
Facts.
Because every state's different. You know, if it was, think about it. If it was something that really mattered, all of it would be in sync. We'd just all be doing it. But every state, it's different. It costs different here. It's different prices here. It's, you know what I mean? It's different stuff here. You got to get a different sticker here. You got to put the sticker in a different place here. What the fuck?
Right. Like
that's how you know it's all bullshit. They just making it up.
Yeah. Like fucking PA, they could ride with no front tag.
Right. Louisiana's like that. But I think Alabama's like that.
You can't ride the front tag out here.
Maryland, you got to have them both.
Yeah, I got pulled over for that shit one day, man.
It fell off, or you just didn't?
No, it was on my window.
Oh, you put it in your window?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just asking for it.
I had it. What the fuck?
He's like, let me just hold it out the window so you can see it while I'm driving.
No. I mean, I had it.
No, I'm just saying.
It was not.
I got you. It wasn't visible.
It couldn't. No, it couldn't go on or something in the front.
Oh, okay. Right, the head fell off, broke or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. The nail part wasn't adding up. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't put it in there.
Right, and then they pulled you over for that.
Yeah, talking about my front license plate need to be on. I was like, wow.
Yeah, because all these other cars from other states don't have to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck? But that's what I'm saying. See, everybody's different, all for different reasons.
Right.
So that's how you know it's bullshit.
Facts.
Yeah, just a fucking money grab. It's all money grab, man.
Yeah. Like insurance. Car insurance.
Yeah. You got to have it because everybody else is fucked up. That's why. You know what I mean? You only have to have it because everybody else is fucked up.
Shit. But when you really need their ass, they'll help you for real.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like say just like we had a damn storm the other day.
Well, yeah, and that stuff, like house insurance, that's different.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
I'm paying insurance. I don't care anything that happened to my car.
Right.
You know, you should take care of my shit. That's what insurance for.
Right.
Man.
Want to talk about it?
Nah.
I was going to say, update on my shit. Remember I told you I got in that accident a while back? Just a little fender bender? Well, I did everything through my insurance, right? Because my insurance was like, look, you can either wait for their insurance to deal with this, or we'll just take care of it, and then we'll have them compensate you on their behalf or whatever. So it'll be faster if we do it because we'll just start taking care of it now, you know? And so I'm thinking, we should be all good. Dude hit me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't have you know what I mean? Like, it's not like there's anything in jeopardy here is what I'm thinking at the time. I'm going, he hit me. He said he's sorry. We got our information. Yeah, I'll just take care of what I was going to take care of now. We'll get it done. So 2 months later, I get a fucking letter in the mail, and it says, sorry to inform you, but his insurance has denied your claim. And I'm like, this motherfucker lied to his insurance. And I'm like, what a fucking scumbag. You know what I mean? I was like,
that's crazy, man.
Yeah. I was like, wow. So, I mean, really all he got me for was the $500 deductible. I had to pay the deductible to get it going. He should have paid the deductible,
right,
and I would have just been good. You know what I mean? So that's what happened. He got me out of $500. You know what I mean? Karma take care of it. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Karma take care of it.
Yeah.
I was mad at the moment and the idea of like, this motherfucker lied. You know what I mean? But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let the universe take care of this one. You know what I mean? I was good. I was like, all right. I was mad in the moment, but I didn't let it fucking drag me down, and I wasn't sitting there fuming. You know what I mean? I was just like, okay, this motherfucker lied.
Especially it wasn't your damn fault.
Right. You know what I mean?
He hit you.
Yeah.
That's the wild part.
So he must have told his insurance that I hit him. Yeah.
Shit, did they do any investigation?
Who knows? Because, no insurance wants to pay shit. You know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I sent all the pictures, and I explained in my scenario of how it went down. So his scenario must have been different, because if it didn't match up, his insurance was like, nope, looks like that guy hit you. I'm like, okay. There's no other way that his insurance would deny it. I've never been denied in any accidents I've ever been in that it wasn't my fault. You know what I mean?
Right.
Never been denied. Everybody's been like, okay, yeah, it happened the way you showed it, So that's how I knew he had to fucking lied,
He had to.
Yeah.
He had to. Shit, I'm a good driver. So I don't be getting too many accidents.
Right.
Just gotta be aware of people on the street, man.
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody. It's like, you're a good driver,
You know what
but you got to worry about everybody else.
Right.
You're always looking out for everybody else. Like when I'm driving, I'm not really like, I'm not looking at my shit going like, am I okay?
Right.
I'm like, what's that car doing? What's that car doing? Who's behind me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm paying attention to everybody else. And that's why I tell like my daughter and my son and them, as they're learning, it was like, you have to pay attention to everybody else.
Yeah.
It's not you specifically paying attention to your shit. Yeah, you got to glance down and check your
Yeah.
speedometer here and there and shit like that. But you're
once
more
you
like,
know.
what's everybody else doing? Because if I have to react, I got to know how to move.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
You know.
You got to know if there's somebody beside you.
Right.
You got to swerve real quick.
Right. You gotta see if somebody's speeding behind you, and then change lanes over to the slow lane,
Right.
and then trying to come over to the right lane, and then you trying to get over. You know what I mean?
Right. You got to pay
You gotta
attention
know,
to all that.
man.
Right.
You just gotta know. You gotta be smart out there on the road.
Yep.
For real. And I just want to say this. Now we on the damn driving. When you on a highway and you see that 18-wheeler, just drive past the damn thing.
They're always scared, man.
Just drive past the damn thing. Don't be
just dip. Just hit that
lagging behind it and shit all crazy. wondering if he gonna get over. You riding in the middle of him.
Right.
Of course, now he ain't gonna see your dumb ass because truckers have blind spots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't be caught up in the middle of them.
Yeah. Whenever you're next to him, just get on.
Just go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah. Don't take your time.
Hell.
Don't take your time because you don't want. If he's got to swerve, you're done.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, if he's got to swerve, you're done. Just
that's what they be waiting on. Like, all right, come on. Please don't swerve right now. Like,
please don't swerve right now.
Go past his ass.
Right.
Move. Use your brain, man. Non-drivers out there.
Yeah, that's what I tell my daughter. I said, you got to remember, half these people out here can't drive. Off grip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Off grip. Half of them just can't even drive. Put that in your mind. You already understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't even, yeah.
And I hate the people that drive like this. You drive with both hands, all tensed up on the damn wheel and
just
shit.
hair and knuckles.
Yeah, man. That made me uncomfortable. Like, loosen up, man, for real. Loosen up. Like, what is you doing? Relax.
Too nervous, right?
Hey, you tense. I know her body is locked, boy. For real. I hate that shit. And the seat all the way up.
Yeah.
Seat belt strapped in, like.
Tucking you in.
Come on. Loosen up, baby.
Kick back, relax.
Kick off your shoes. Say down. Keep your shoes on.
Right. He said, keep your shoes on.
Yeah, you know, you ain't skilled yet like that to drive with your shoes on.
I'll do sandals sometimes. Sandals. Just straight sandals and no socks.
Yeah, man, I drove in my bed.
I mean.
Drove in my slippers, man.
Yeah.
My nice slippers.
Right? I jumped in the car real quick with just my little sandals on. Just. It feels weird, though.
Yeah, definitely.
But I definitely
does,
drove with my feet before.
Yeah.
I've drove with bare feet before. On a stick, too, one time.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I ain't on that level.
I was wild.
I'm actually no stick. I told you I bought a stick one day.
You bought one?
I bought one. Well, no. I was trying to buy a car.
Okay.
And, you know, for a reasonable price. And dude was like, all right, yeah, I got one. I get there, it's a stick.
That's right. You were like, what am I going to do with this?
I don't know how to drive no stick, bro. He like, man, come on, I'm going to show you how to drive.
And he's like, I'm going to show you real quick. He was trying to get that thing out his driveway.
Yeah. So me, I hops in the car, not knowing how to drive. I'm in one, but I remember my aunt back in the day, you know, she had a stick, you know what I'm saying? So I used to see her. So I know the gears, 1, 2, 3, you know.
Right.
I know the gears all crazy. Yeah. So I could do it off memory. So I got in the car. He said, you know, I hit the clutch and the gas. So I did it. I'm in first gear. I'm like, oh shit. I hit 2, smooth.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh shit, how I stop this shit?
How do I stop?
How do I stop this shit? This shit's rolling. So I just tapped the brake all crazy and it stopped. But my mind for that second was like, oh, how do I stop? You know what I mean? I panicked for a minute.
Panicked for a second.
Yeah, I definitely panicked.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
If you've driven a stick, we've all been there. Yeah.
I was like, oh, nah. I can't do no stick, man, because I can't be in traffic with that shit. I don't want to be in traffic with no stick. That's why
I got away from a stick. I had a stick in the early 2000s, and the reason I got away from it was because I didn't want to be in traffic with it. It just got it. I did it. I did it for like a year, and I was like, I was in the traffic out here in a stick, and I was like, yep. I don't want this. I don't want this. You had to use both your legs the whole time, and just fucking so much energy went into that. I was like, nah, I just want to push the gas and hit the brake.
I see my fare one day, shit, the shit stall out on me.
Yep.
Or you know how sometimes you got to go in first gear, the car roll back a little bit.
Yep.
So
you gotta like straddle that bitch just
you
right.
gotta catch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, I ain't trying to back up and then back up too far.
Just bing the person behind you. I was always scared of that, of hitting the person behind me on the hill or something. Yeah, that shit sucked.
That's my worst fear.
Yep.
But yeah, it's crazy though, man. I remember a car that I ain't had no brakes on it. Well, it's my first car.
No brakes?
I think I said this story. No, I didn't.
I don't remember this one.
I had a Galant, 97 Galant. And it had brakes on it, but it wasn't working too well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to time it. You know what I'm saying? So I always time my shit. You know what I mean? I know when to time it. So I stopped it.
Time it.
You got to time it, right? You know, so I was like, all right, hit the brake here. I'm going to stop there. Boom. You got to know your car. Like, know your car, you got to know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, it's me and my man's in the car, and I'm driving. We driving in the street, and there's a motorcycle right there. Motorcycle in front of us. So the light is green, right? So we driving. So the light just changed yellow all of a sudden. So I'm like, all right. I'm thinking to myself in my head, like, all right, if he go, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
So he sped up. So I'm like, okay, he about to hit it.
We're going.
We gone. Moving. So I'm like, you know, this motherfucker just stops. So now my timing's off. So
your timing's off.
I hit the brake.
And it's not doing it.
It's slowing down, but I'm like, oh man, I'm about to hit this dude. But I'm not going too fast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just hit him. Boom.
You did hit him?
Yeah.
Oh,
but it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard what you are thinking.
You dinged him. You dinged him.
Yeah. It wasn't no.
Did he do it with his
car, no shit like that. Nah. He ain't even move nothing like that. You know what I mean? But he didn't fly. You know what I mean? He didn't fly across the street, no shit like that. Nah. He just, you know, I tapped him.
He just looked back.
He did fall. He did fall off the bike.
He did fall.
You know what I'm saying? The bike fell.
Yeah.
And the whole time, like, it's funny, but it's not funny.
There was no way to swerve.
No. There's no way to swerve. But my friends in the car, they was dying laughing. I'm like, yo, this is not time to be laughing. I'm keeping a straight face.
Yeah.
My face is locked. I'm like, oh, I done hit this man. Yo, a whole lot of shit was going through my mind right now. They just laughing. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about, you know, insurance going up. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting locked up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How this man feel.
Right.
You know, it's a whole lot of shit just running through my head right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? These motherfuckers in my head just going, yak, yakking it up. I get out the car to go check on the man. He on the ground. The look he gave me, like, when I went to go help him.
Like he was dazed? Oh, like, what the fuck was that?
Right, like. I looked at him, man. I was like, sir, I'm so sorry.
I thought you was hitting that light, bro.
Yeah.
Did you tell him that?
Yeah, I tell him. Yeah.
Like, I thought you was hitting that
I
light.
thought you was going to go.
And then you stopped.
But then I was like, are you all right? He was like, yeah, I'm all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, a little piece of his bike fell off all crazy. Like, I don't know what it was, but something he said that fell off his bike. You know what I'm saying? Everything was cool until the police got there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he get there.
Deeper.
Yeah, he get there and shit. So now his leg hurt.
Oh, yeah.
You know, his bike more damage than what he told me.
Said.
I'm like, come on, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, that was years ago. I really forgot what the hell happened after that. But ain't nothing really happened, though. They just...
Insurance took care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember that scene, though, man. That shit was crazy. I never get that look he gave me, though, like...
Just like, what the fuck?
What happened? It's like his face just read it all to me.
Yeah.
He had to say nothing to me. I was like, wow. Yeah, man.
Well, I guess we just finish it off right there. We've been running. I think we're actually running a little long.
Yeah.
But yeah. Thanks for that that story. That was a great one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
You know. Just like you know your car.
You got a lot of interactions with bikes.
Yeah.
That other one with your neighbor, and then you rode it around, you laid it down.
Yeah.
That's some bike stories.
Yeah.
That's welcome to our new show, Bike Stories with BDot.
Bike stories would be that. Yeah. Yeah, just like you know your car, man. You gotta know yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, spread the love.
Spread love always, you know.
Faith over fear. Yeah. But we're gonna get out of here. Awkward Intelligence, Intox, along with
BDot, baby.
You know it. Thanks for stopping by.
Bomb droppers.